know, I actually have a special power. It's called a minimum. With this minimum, I am able to create an anime review instantly. Here, let me try it out. Hamatora the animation is an anime with a strange combination between mystery, action and the supernatural. It was based on a manga by Yukino Kitajima and Yuki Kodama. The anime, however, was made by NAS Animation. Never heard of them? Neither have I. It seems that Hamatora is the first production they've worked on themselves, previously providing animation assistance for Danganronpa the animation. So without further ado, I present the anime review of Hamatora the animation. Hamatora follows the story of a detective agency named Hamatora, a team of people who solve crimes together. Sounds boring, really. Well, it would be if these guys didn't have awesome superpowers known as minimums. Each of these powers are unique and add this extra element to the show which is fully utilised. Hamatora takes place in Yokohama in the modern world of 2014. That's something important to note because it's taken full advantage of. Social media is a strong theme here. Throughout the show we constantly see references to YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, mobile apps, the cloud, and other new media technologies. Personally, I really enjoy seeing series making attempts to stay relevant, and it's things like this that make the show not only interesting, but also somewhat relatable. In this way, the show is very modern in terms of narrative, the way it presents the world, and how characters interact with each other. It also deals with the idea of discrimination more so in the second half of the show, but it's not exactly clear-cut. Whilst you might think that the show would just show one side of this and talk about how bad it is, Hamatora does not take the easy way out, instead looking at the reactionary side to discrimination, or reverse discrimination. When someone is being attacked, what is the general response to that? To lash out, to fight back, and then to find a community to share the pain, understand each other, and also lash out at society in some form or another. It's a very, very touchy subject, and I'm impressed that Kitajima managed to develop a storyline that took all of this into account and present it in an unbiased fashion, which is incredibly hard to do. The way the show presents itself is strange. Despite it having some mystery narrative elements, it doesn't give the audience enough information for them to be able to solve the case themselves. In shows such as Detective Conan, you'll be taken around the crime scene. You'll watch Conan look at the evidence, you'll meet the suspects, and then using this information, you are able to solve the case yourself. This means when the culprit is finally found and the details are revealed, you have some investment in the episode, and it can feel very rewarding to correctly guess the culprit. Hamatora, however, doesn't do this, but it's for a very specific reason. The entire point of the series is inequality. Normal people feel inferior to the minimum holders, and everyone feels inferior to the protagonist Nice. By having him solve all the mysteries without much explanation shows that Nice is not only smarter than literally everyone else on the show, but is also smarter than you, and that the mysteries presented are beyond your understanding. Now, whilst I have been praising many of the aspects of Hamatora and the ideas it presents, the pacing of the show just doesn't do it justice at all. I'm talking about the start specifically. The anime throws you right into a situation where all the characters already know each other, and it's up to the viewer to get familiar with their personalities without knowing their backstories at all. In this way, the manga actually does it a lot better, showing the formation of Hamatora, and most of all, introducing each character independently and thoroughly. Not to say that the first episode of Hamatora wasn't absolutely brilliant, because it was, but it just didn't do a great job at introducing the characters. Speaking of characters, the cast is a very good size, not too large, not too small, meaning that most of the key characters get some form of representation in each episode. Even Hajime, who doesn't have a key role, gets some screen time now and again. So, let's get profiling.
I'm XXX, bitch, triple X rated.
Nice is the top scoring graduate of the minimum holder school, Facultas Academy, and is the protagonist of the show. Now, what you need to know about Nice is that he is the best, the smartest, the strongest, the fastest, pretty much undefeatable. With his minimum that allows him to travel at the speed of light, he's capable of ending conflicts quickly and efficiently. This offers a point of conflict for the series, with the antagonist trying to create an equal world by giving ordinary people powers. He seeks to reach the same level as Nice. Now Nice is definitely not your stereotypical friendly hero. Sometimes he really couldn't care less about your problems and just couldn't be bothered, and that makes him a very down-to-earth character. He's human, he shouldn't feel obliged to do anything, why should he give a shit? Murasaki is number 2 in every sense of the word. He was the second highest scoring graduate of Facultas Academy, the second strongest in Hamatora, the second fastest, second smartest, and he's frustrated. He's rarely the one to solve the cases, with Nice being one step ahead every time. But it's how he learns to deal with this that is important, and how it puts him at a contrast with the antagonist. Murao is the direct opposite to Murasaki and fails to deal with inequality. Believing that Nice must be lonely being so powerful, Murao attempts to create a world where everyone is powerful and he alone can stand up to Nice. However, despite Murao's obviously logical and thought out reasoning, Nice isn't a complete prick and opposes Murao's insane efforts to turn everyone into minimum holders and destroy society. He's certainly a very strange character, and unlike many mad villains, Murao is legitimately fucking nuts. All of the characters of Hamatora are likeable or dislikable in their own way, and they all play a role in the telling of this story. So here's the biggest problem with Hamatora. Despite the manga having very good art and character designs, the animation has some issues. Whilst there are some instances of very standout animation, there's some scenes that either just seem lazy or just generally seem to be a bad idea. It's very inconsistent and it may put people off. However, as I mentioned, when it wants to, it can be very good and interesting to watch, especially when it comes down to the use of colours. The oily effects that appears whenever a character uses a minimum never gets boring, as it's such a vibrant and exciting blend. As far as the music goes, it always fits the situation. I do kind of wish that the music on Nice's headphones was louder when he used his minimum to act as a great non-diegetic track, but it's not overly important. And of course, the ED is freaking great. I enjoyed Hamatora. Sure, it had some problems as far as the animation is concerned, but the plot is very solid and it has a brilliant cast of characters. I recommend this series to fans of Durarara. The show follows a similar structure and has some of the same plot points and ideas. I would also choose to recommend this to those interested in seeing a grounded plot. Many of the issues brought up in Hamatora are, in a way, real life issues, and the series constantly reflects real life in some form or another. However, on that note, I would not recommend this to anyone looking for escapism. It's something that's been quoted as a reason for why some people engage in certain entertainment, and if you're hoping to watch something that's not really confronting and has a high level of fantasy, then it would be a safe bet to not watch Hamatora. I would also not recommend this to people who want consistently high quality animation. If you struggle to look past low detail art and constant static frames, then this is not for you. But personally, as I said earlier, I enjoyed this series. The ending was a cliffhanger, but I have hope that it will continue for a second season. And there ends our current coverage of Winter 2014. I may return to some of the series I missed in the future, but right now we're going to move on to Spring 2014, and I hope to see some more really interesting series coming up.